Hello world, yeah, it's me again, and welcome to today's live stream. It's Monday, March 30, almost the end of the first month of autumn. Anyhow, as usual, local weather report. It's an overcast day today here in my hometown of Coffs Harbour, here on the mid-north coast of New South Wales, Australia. And the temperature in my shed office is 30 degrees, and the temperature under the shade at the back of the house is 26. Humidity's up to 85%. Yeah, it's a little bit sticky. Now, the reason I mention the shade under the house is because at the rear of the house, on the outside, I have a little a weather station, and it tells me the temperature and tells me the humidity. It has also got a barometer built into it, but for some reason that doesn't work. But anyway, I got it for nothing, so it doesn't really matter. Right now, it seems from what I've heard about the Germanwings A320 Airbus disaster that it was mass murder. Oh God, mass murder! How horrific! Eh? It's totally inconceivable. But it's just another example of how vulnerable we are in a world that's gone crazy. Yeah, we really are vulnerable. We're just at the mercy of these idiots, these psychopaths, these whatever you want to call them. Evidently, the co-pilot who was responsible suffered from some psychological disorder. He'd had a test and said that he was losing his eyesight, and he'd separated from his girlfriend or his fiancée not too long before the incident. And but yeah, why take it out on 150 other innocent people? You know, why don't you just go and just kill yourself? You know, and step out in front of a truck or a tray, or step in front of a train or something like that, instead of killing other 150 people. Oh, I just understand that sort of thing. Oh God, yeah. I mean, in some respect, you know, the world really has gone crazy. Yeah. But the trouble is, it's today's news and social media, and that, you know, we hear about everything virtually as soon as it's happening, and bad news is always good press. Yeah, good news, you know, really doesn't account for many views. You know, if you put a disaster on the television or on any social media, you know, it's going to get views. Oh, sure, you know, good things happen, and yeah, people uploading good videos all the time. But let's face it, you know, bad news always gets the press. It's something they can play with. Anyhow, it's a little bit sweaty. Yeah. Oh, drum roll again. Really, we need drum roll this. Yeah, last night I watched the final of the World Cup cricket. It was held at that massive arena down at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, and according to the commentator, there was something like 93,000 people there. The place was chock-a-block full. It's a massive arena, the Melbourne Cricket Ground. It's probably one of the best arenas for sport of any kind in Australia, if not the world. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a tight contest, but it proved out not to be so. The New Zealand won the toss, elected to bat, and young Mitchell Starc, I think he's rated the best fast bowler in the world today, and he certainly is to my mind, because he took the captain out in the first over, and then during the next 10 overs, they lost another 2 wickets, and suddenly, you know, they'd lost 3 wickets and they'd only a few runs up, and then the 2 other batsmen that came in, the New Zealand batsmen, they stuck to their guns and they started whacking the ball here, there, and everywhere. And it wasn't long before they had a 100-run partnership, and I thought, well, you know, they're going to stage a comeback, but no, that didn't happen. And they ended up being bowled out for something like 184, I think it was. And in fact, they lost their last 6 wickets for something like 33, 35 runs. And but, you know, as I often say in these situations, that it's never over till it's over. And if one team has already got the runs on the board, it's up to the other team to get them. And you never know what's going to happen in the game of cricket. But now Australia played magnificently well. They did lose an early wicket, and I think a few overs later they lost their second wicket. But then Captain Michael Clarke, along with young Steve Smith, who happened to be, he's in phenomenal form, that young Smith fella. He really is. I mean, he was, I think he was the player of the Test series against India. Is my mind correct? I think he scored something like 4 centuries in 4 innings. I might be wrong there, but he was in good form as long with his captain, and the two of them all but got all the 185 runs required. But Clarke played a shot and played onto his stumps and he was out. I think they had about 10 runs to get at the time. And then young Shane Watson came in and he scored a couple of runs, but it was young Steve Smith who hit the winning runs with a 4. And it was all over in 32 overs. You know, it's a 50 overs a side game, but it was all over in 32 overs. So Australia are 2015 World Cup champions. Hip hip hooray! Good on the Aussies. Yeah. Oh, I've got some notes here. Yeah, I've got some notes. Now, I've often said in my blogs, and maybe I've said it on one of these live streams, but I'm not sure, that my mind is drifting north of normal these days. Yeah. And it often left me to wonder if people think I'm joking. I'm not. No, honestly, I'm not. I'm not joking at all. Here's a prime example. I mean, I tell you, I'd uploaded a new video to YouTube on Saturday, March 28 it was, and I totally forgot to include 2 sequences when I was editing. Yeah, fair income. And those 2 sequences ran for a bit over 3 minutes. Well, it left me with 2 options. And the first option really wasn't an option. That was just to forget about it. But I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that because it would really play in my mind. You know, I'm like that, you see. Yeah. And so I took the second option and uploaded the 2 sequences yesterday, Sunday. And I felt better because of it. Now, talking about videos, now when I come down to my shed office, I sit at my desk, I boot up my laptop, and I check my YouTube channel, see how I'm going for views, and then I check what to watch, see if there's some of the I subscribe to about 100 channels, and I just check to see if there's any new videos to watch from them. And I also check my emails, and I always briefly scroll the Facebook main page. And I came across, which is often the case on Facebook, I came across a video that had gone viral. There's something like 11.1 million views. And it was the most banal subject you could ever imagine. Yeah, true. It showed a special purpose truck repairing a pothole in a road. It had this arm coming out that sprayed first hot bitumen around the pothole, and then it sprayed bitumen-based gravel in, filling the hole up. That was it. That was the video. And it got, at the time, it had 11.1 million views. I mean, I don't understand that. You know, if I'd uploaded a video like that, you know, I'd be lucky to get 1 view. So what is it? Now I know that a lot of these videos seem to come via the Huntington Post. I know very little about the Huntington Post, but I do know that it's owned by a woman. In fact, it was a woman who started it, and it's a very successful. I'm not sure if it's a newspaper. I imagine it would be. And now they've also branched out into social media, and this is where the videos are uploaded to. Or it may have been a YouTube video. I'm not sure. But you know, 11.1 million views of repairing a pothole. They talk about the world going crazy. Oh, I tell you, fair income. Oh dear. Yeah. And I also, when I come down to my shed office, I put the television on. Now, it's not to watch any television show. It's just to see if there are any new stories that I could use in my live stream. You know, I need all the help I can get. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a runny nose. Maybe I'm suffering from hay fever. No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. It seems I suffer from everything these days. Oh, look, you know, about my glasses again before I go on. Perhaps it, look, no, excuse me. I watch every live stream once it's been uploaded to YouTube. I like to have a laugh at myself. And I noticed that my glasses reflect the monitor. But if I take them off, you know, my short vision is not very good. And if I look at my notes, it's a blur. My long vision is terrific. Yeah, no problem at all with my long vision. But yeah, everything's a blur. So I need to have my glasses on. If I didn't need them on, I wouldn't wear them. But well, I suppose I could take them off and give it a try. Now I've got a watery eye. It's always my right eye. I don't know why it is. Now, after all that gobbledygook, yes, you know, in the year 2000, the Howard government introduced the goods and services tax. It replaced the old wholesale sales tax, and it was set at 10%. You know, and it was for 10% was added to a lot of food products and all service you got from whatever it was. You know, whatever service you got, plumber, carpenter, mechanic, all the trade and all this sort of stuff. And it was promised at the time that it would never go up. It would never go beyond 10%. And, you know, for the past 15 years, that's been true. But now the federal government's talking about putting the tax up to 15%, which is exactly what folk in New Zealand said would happen, because they had the GST long before Australia. And they said it invariably went up. They promises made that it would never go up, but it did. And of course, that's atypical of the federal government. You know, always trying to raise revenue. So, and they've got so many venues that they can raise revenue on. You know, this GST is one, but the three mainstays, of course, are on tobacco, alcohol, and petrol. Oh yeah, yeah. You know, on one hand, the federal government spends tens of millions of dollars a year instilling the virtues of not smoking, giving the illusion to the population that they care. But they don't care one iota. They don't give a stuff about the population, really. It's just to give an illusion that they care. Because they know damn well that if everyone in this country stopped smoking, then the federal coffers would suffer dramatically. And it's the same with petrol. Now, crude oil's been at its lowest that I can remember in decades. I mean, it's below $50 a barrel. I mean, late last year, it was somewhere around about $110 a barrel. And at that time, petrol was something like $1, what was it, 98 octane or something. It was $1.64 a litre. $1.64 a litre. And when the price of crude oil went down, slowly the prices of petrol went down. Oh, but not here in Coffs Harbour. No, not here in Coffs Harbour. You know, even with crude oil down to around about $46 a barrel, American, we're still paying around $1.35 a litre here in Coffs Harbour, where other places about 20 cents a litre cheaper. And you know what the banal excuse is? That because it has to be freighted 80 kilometres from Grafton. Well, what a lot of baloney that is. You know, I mean, these trucks carry 15, 20,000 litres of fuel, but they say they got to bung an extra 20 cents on per litre of fuel carried. Are you kidding me? If they carry 15,000 litres and they're bunging an extra 20 cents on, you know, that's something like an extra $3,000 they're getting out of every 15,000 litre load of petrol. And that's rubbish. It's rubbish. It's 80 kilometres from Grafton. You know, it would take a truck an hour to get down here, and maybe it would use, say, 10 litres of diesel. I'm not sure. Yeah. And diesel's about $1.50 a litre. So $15 worth of fuel. Maybe let's double it and say $30 if you're for a return trip. Come on, this is just playing ludo. But this is what it's like. They should prices should be the same everywhere, except I will admit this in distant outback towns where it would indeed cost a lot of money to transport the fuel. But I wouldn't be surprised if you went to a place like Burke, which is something like, I don't know, as a crow flies from here, maybe 800 kilometres away to the west. And you'd probably find that 98 octane will be selling there for less than it here in Coffs Harbour. Oh, no, they're really screwing us here in Coffs Harbour. Oh, excuse me while I have a sip of tea. And yes, I know the mug's full because I went up to the house, topped it up and nuked it before I came back down for this live stream. Ah, dear. Yeah, it's pretty hot too, but it's good. Oh, geez, it's good. Yes. So, the government has, first, it can raise the tax on tobacco. Then it can raise the fuel excise tax. And as it is, I think the government gets something like 70% of the cost of every litre of fuel. Greedy curs. And then, of course, there is yeah, well, of course, it's the car owner, isn't it? Yeah, the car owner always pays. So it's the smoker, the drinker, and the car owners are the three main outlets for the government to raise revenue. Not to mention all the little clandestine fees they raise that you have absolutely no idea about until you get hit with a bill. It's okay for me being a pensioner. In a couple of respects. I get my shooter's license for free because I'm a pensioner, and I get my driver's license for free, and I get the registration for free. I still have to pay for insurance, of course, like there's compulsory third-party insurance, but and comprehensive insurance as well. But yeah, that saves me, it could be close to $1,000 a year. That's for all pensioners. That's very handy. And of course, with the pension, and I'm on a couple of medications, I'm able to get most for around $6 each on the pharmaceutical benefit scheme that the government has in store for pensioners, and that's a big money saver, because some of these medications, for instance, this is a new medication I have for my emphysema, Ultra Bro, and it only cost me $6. But if I wasn't a pensioner and had access to the pharmaceutical benefits scheme, that medication could cost several $100s. In fact, some medications that folk have to take cost thousands of dollars a month. Yeah, it's true. Which I don't really understand. This just shows the greed of the pharmaceutical companies. It really does. If they've got a medication that is a big benefit to the world population, say they came up with a cure for cancer. Well, why would you want to sell it to people at a cost that most couldn't afford? Wouldn't you be better off having that medication, whether it be a vaccine or a tablet, for a few dollars, say $10, because a billion people are going to be buying that. Well, no, I'm over exaggerating. It wouldn't be that many, but there are tens of millions of people suffering with cancer in the world. So if say 100 million people are suffering from cancer, and this U-Butte medicine came out, wouldn't you be better off selling it for $10 and making $1 billion instead of only having to be able to a select few and not making much money at all? Yeah, but this is what the pharmaceutical companies like. They're like the government. They're just a bunch of greedy brigands. They really are. They're in order to make as much money as they can. Granted, they can spend many, many years perfecting a medication, and it costs millions of dollars to do so, just like it is with all the software companies. But by geez, the cost of manufacture of all this stuff, software and medications, it's really not that expensive. You know, they want you to believe it is, but it's not. Yeah, you take Apple for instance. They get all their iPhones, iPads, whatever, manufactured overseas. You know, in places like Taiwan and Korea and Pakistan and China, whatever, and they get them made next to nothing. Next to nothing in these little sweatshops where folk are making a paltry living, and they sell them to us here in Australia, and overseas, $4, $5, $6, $700, and they're making enormous profits. They're just so greedy, It's just I don't know about Microsoft. I have seen documentaries about Microsoft, and it has a huge setup. I'm not sure what state in America it is, and they employ tens of thousands of people. I get the impression that Microsoft makes all its new apps in its own factory. But Mr. Gates, Mr. Bill Gates, he's once again the wealthiest man in the world. He's worth about $80 billion, even though he's been giving a whole lot of his money away, which I applaud him for. Yeah, he's he's a very big philanthropist, and good on him, because he said that the world's been good to him, and he wants to give back to the world, and I think that's great with his campaign with his wife, and with I think what the vaccines for the third world countries and so on. Spending billions of dollars. That's great. That's great, because with that sort of money, and with the sort of company he's got with Microsoft, the money must get to the point where well, I don't know. It's not as important as it is to most folk. That's not really what I want to say, but when you're worth $80 billion and your company's got it could be worth $500 billion for all I know, Microsoft, and you're in a position where you're supplying something to 98% of the world population. You're in a win-win situation wherever you go. You can spend billions of dollars a year helping third world countries, and but you're going to get that money back in no time at all. And I guess having that sort of money, I'm really not sure what I want to say. I'm not a wealthy man myself, but I'm comfortable, as my wife and I are comfortable. But money's important to us, as it is to everyone. And let's face it, you can't get by in life without money. I don't care what anyone says. You just can't get by in life without money. Money's the bottom line. So with someone like Mr. Gates, who's worth $80 billion, I think money just it must be just a mere bag of tell. You could wander around with hundreds of thousands of dollars in his pocket in cash if he wanted to. It'd just be petty cash. But good on him. Yeah, well, good on him. Now, what is it? 121. Oh, look, I've really got to put my glasses on. I'm squinting a lot here. Oh, that's better. Oh God, wish I hadn't. Look at all the fluff. Oh God Almighty. Yeah, but even though I'll get back to the weather here. Yes, I'm digressing. But even with the weather overcast, it's not really cool. Now, I've been waiting for the weather to cool down, because my grass on my front and rear lawns is about this high, and there's a paspalum hanging over the path leading from the shed to the house here. Oh, excuse me for sniffing. And I'm trying to motivate myself to get the line trimmer out and get my hand to gear and get busy line trimming the edges and then mowing it. But it's just so hot, I just can't be bothered doing it. The humidity. The humidity just drains me of energy like you wouldn't believe. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. But again, look, I'm in no man's land. Once again, I've said all I wanted to say on my notes. Maybe I should start making my notes longer, giving more thought to what I'm going to present in these live streams. But as I said in the description, you can pet people will watch and have a ball watching me. Wouldn't that be great if they did? And or they're going to watch and then find out that there's been time wasted and time they'll never get back. I've often seen that in comments on YouTube videos. You know, someone go, well, that's a minute I'll never get back, which can be quite true, I suppose. But I've been here by myself for the last 3 days. My wife has gone over to her late mother's house because her brother and his wife came up, and they do it once a month to get the house tidied up. And but I don't really mind that at all. I don't really mind being by myself. My wife doesn't mind being by herself either. But as I said, you know, when you've been married as long as we've been married for 40 years. Oh, jeez, this is nearly the end of March, April. Another 3 months, we've been married 41 years. 41 years. That's often been said you don't get anywhere near that for murder. I'm going to have another sip of tea. Oh, and once again, I got a sore throat. You know, folks, I'm really falling to pieces. I'm beginning to feel every year in my 67 years. I really am. Oh, dear. Yeah, so anyhow, look, I really can't think of anything else to go on about. Like I say, I've got my notes here. I've checked my notes, and no, that's it. Done and dusted. My ambition for this live stream, because I really enjoy doing this live stream, but I'd like to get some sort of format. I've said this before, and I'm still thinking. You know, I'm still thinking what I can do. But I'm always thinking. I'm thinking how I'm going to put my 3-way camp refrigerator on the trailer. See, I'm taking a trailer when I go away this year, when I go bush for the winter season. And I was thinking, oh, well, they've got the A-frame there. I can put in a special container and put the fridge in there. Well, stupid me, I forgot that the spare wheel's on the A-frame, which means I'll have to take the spare wheel off and slot in the trailer itself. But I don't know what sort of fixing units on the A-frame. I suppose I'll have to get around to cutting it off or doing whatever to put this other unit on. Oh, I don't know. I tell you what, folks, I've got so many things on my mind these days. And pardon me, if I don't make notes about it, then I'll just forget. I will. When it rains, I check the rain gauge at around about 9 o'clock every morning. That's if I'm out of bed by then. See, sometimes I go to bed late. You know, I might go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'll have a shower, and then I'll get into bed and I might read for half an hour. So, you know, it could be 1:30, could even be 2 o'clock by the time I turn the light out. And it might take me 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes to get to sleep. And next thing I know, I got to get up. Not because I want to, but because I have to, because you've got to go to the toilet and urinate. You know, it's not just an age thing, but it seems to happen more often when you get older. And then I go back to bed, and it's usually lights out pretty quick. And the next thing I know, I might wake up at 8 o'clock, 8:30, might be 9 o'clock. Could even be 9:30, 10 o'clock. Sometimes I haven't got up to 11 o'clock. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter at my age. I don't have anything in particular I have to do anywhere I have to go. So you can do that. It doesn't happen all that often. I prefer to get up early because I generally feel better if I get up early. Well, a little better anyway. Because with the emphysema, that's my worst time is the morning. You know, I'm always finding it hard to breathe, and I got to take it easy. I have a breakfast. You know, I got to take it easy for about an hour, and then I'm usually pretty right, as long as I don't exert myself too hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, back to the rain gauge. See what I mean? See, I just lose my train of thought. But I check the rain gauge every morning at around 9 a.m. And if there's no rain in it, no water in it, 6 one half dozen the other, but they're both the same, then no worries. But say there might be 10 millimeters in the gauge. Well, as soon as I go down to my shed office, I plan to get out my rainfall chart and record the reading. But I get down there, I sit at my desk, and I boot up a laptop, and then I turn the TV on, and I'll have a sip of tea, and then one thing leads to another, and I totally forget to put in the reading in the book. Like I said, my mind is really going north of normal these days. It is well and truly north of normal. But it's not unusual about people, forgetting things, but it does happen more frequently the older you get, and don't let anyone tell you different. I said this before too, that there are advantages to growing old, but there are a lot of disadvantages as well. And I'm still not looking at this camera, which would give you the impression that I'm looking at you. And what can I say? Well, look, folks, I really haven't got anything else to say. If I had a joke, I could tell you, I would, but I don't, because you've probably heard them all before. So now, being 1:31, according to the clock here in the bottom right corner of the laptop monitor, I think it's time I called it quits and start. I can sit back and finish my tea, and then I can think about trying to get my my mojo going and do something about this lawn. Boy, it's going to take me a long while to do it, I can tell you. I can see myself being busy line trimming the edges for about 2 hours. And when it comes to the mowing, probably the same. It's probably going to take me 4 hours to do what would normally only take about an hour and a half. See, that's the trouble when you procrastinate. The job just gets harder, takes longer. What can I say? It's the age thing. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. All right, folks. Look, to anyone there who was watching, I say thank you for watching. And yeah, thank you for watching. And until tomorrow, bye for now.